Hey everyone, welcome to Respite Night 4, I believe. Today we're going to be doing a little back and forth about idioms. If you're not familiar with idioms, idioms are basically phrases of words strung together that mean something that you could totally not guess by what the words themselves are. So like raining cats and dogs is clearly not about literal raining cats and dogs, which is a particularly hilarious challenge for somebody who's autistic and takes everything literally. So we'll see how that goes.
It'll be fun.
Before yeah, before we get started, I just want to let you know that we are going to be still giving out these shirts or selling these shirts through Starsoul through April. So I'm just taking a look at the date. It is still April. We're good. And so the t-shirts, I will just screen share real quick so you guys can see where to get them. But we have partnered with Starsoul. In case you have not heard of Starsoul, they are basically an organization that partners with charities, and they have a t-shirt subscription, and 100% of the proceeds go towards the charity of that choice. And so they chose us for Autism Acceptance Month. And so if you go to officialstarsoul.com and you go to their one-stop shop, you can look under their cause tees and select autism, and that is where you will see our t-shirt here. If you look through the description, you will see that their t-shirts are actually going to be going towards Autism Wish. And so 100% of the proceeds from this t-shirt will go directly to supporting our programs. So our earmuff drive, our Valentine's card drive, and our Christmas Wish program. So if you're looking for a cool way to support our cause and still snag a pretty cool t-shirt while you're at it, this is a great way to do it. We have the link available on our website. It's also on our social media. It's everywhere. We'll post it in the video later too. So that was just your quick reminder. And don't forget, if you would like to support us, an easy, free way to do so is just to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, like, hit that notification bell to get reminders, and just getting the word out really helps us a lot. So with that said, we are going to start playing our game here. Rules of engagement. Matt, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
It doesn't matter to me. It's okay. I can go first if you want.
Okay, so what we're basically doing is we're each going to have a list of idioms, and obviously the other person's not going to be able to see the idioms, and we're going to basically call out the idiom, and the other person has to guess, one, what does it mean, and two, where did it originate from? So we're going to have to figure out the meaning and how it came about. So, yeah. Okay. Well, you could just guess. It doesn't really matter. Right. We're probably going to be wrong on most of these.
Not really sure I know where the origins of it, but
well, I guess not like the origins, but maybe like how it came about subtly, not like super particular, like King Edward III, like not in that detail. Just like some king said it. Like, okay. So let's start with the first one. I will do this one because I think it's too ironic not to do this one for you. So the first one is Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
Which is hilarious because he actually has an Uncle Bob.
That's true.
Okay, so what does it mean?
I'm not even sure. I feel like it's kind of like you're just like an average person, like any old person can be your uncle, maybe. Like I don't know. I don't think I've ever used it or actually heard someone legitimately use it.
Okay, so what is your like I'm gonna lock this in answer? Bob's your uncle.
Oh, maybe it's like your family is so plain or blah, like there's no like excitement. I don't know.
I'm sure your uncle's gonna appreciate that.
I just feel like Bob is like the most like chill name. Like there's no like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you better hope he's not watching this. Okay, is that your final answer? Because you gave two different answers. What are you gonna go with?
I'll go with the second one. I don't know.
Okay. Bob's your uncle definition. It says, usually used to conclude a set of instructions, much like the French voila. So it says basically, just add a dash of salt and Bob's your uncle. Like, there you go. You got it. So it's kind of like concluding it like bingo bongo.
All right.
So now what's your guess on the origin of it?
Gosh, I mean, I guess it's I'd assume a British idiom, um,
Okay.
but maybe like bobbing your head as far as like approval for whatever task to be done, like kind of just like nodding along, like, yeah, that's good enough. I don't know. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
that's good enough. Okay, it says, no one's quite sure, to be honest, but one theory suggests that it's supposed to be referring to nepotism of the 20th British Prime Minister Lord Salisbury, whose first name was Robert, who appointed his nephew to several political posts in the 1880s. Another one says that they might credit also to the slang of all is Bob, which also means all is well. So not even
Oh,
close.
okay. Yeah.
You totally did not get that one at all. All right, you
Okay.
got one for me?
Yes, but I don't have as much like depth as you did for yours. I just thought we were going for
That's
idioms
fine.
and like, okay. So I guess the one I have is to have a cast iron stomach.
Ugh. Okay, that's weird because like a cast iron skillet is like something that is really durable and you can use it in the oven. So like it's not just stovetop. You can use it over fire. So I'm gonna assume it means like a stomach that maybe is like really resilient or something, or like hardy or like tough.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I cannot think of anything else it could possibly be because cast iron is known for being like rugged.
Okay. If someone has a cast iron stomach, it means that he or she can eat anything without suffering bad consequences.
Ah,
So
that's
you
not too
are
far off.
you are
Like
actually pretty accurate. Yeah.
yeah,
Your
but that
logic was
one I
spot
thought
on for that.
well because I think it's logical. Like I think that one is actually pretty straightforward. That is
Right.
literally what you use a cast
But
iron
I but
skillet
I thought it
for.
was I thought it was a good one because I was like, I've never heard it before. So
I'm gonna start
um
using that one for you because I know I
yeah,
know you like to eat.
there we go.
Okay, ready? Okay,
Yep.
this one's weird. Um, a different kettle of fish. A different kettle of fish. I've never heard of this one.
Um
Have you heard it?
I have not, no. I feel like it's like you're having a conversation about something completely different. So usually I think of like a kettle of tea, but if you're having like a kettle of fish, like you're not even talking about the same, like it's kind of, I think of like the concept of like, oh, we're not on the same page. Like I feel like this might be similar to that, where it's like two unrelated things that are clearly off. That's all I got.
Final
I don't know.
answer?
Yeah, that's all I got.
You're not too far off. So it says
Okay.
referring to an alternative or a different thing altogether. So the example they give is like, I love the first film, but the sequel is a different kettle of fish. What a weird saying.
That's so
So it
weird.
says, I know, they says in terms of the origin that it doesn't refer to like a kitchen kettle. It says that it means like a thin saucepan that's used to poach salmon. Not exactly sure how how that clarifies anything, but there
Hmm.
you go. There's the history of that one. I wasn't gonna bother asking you the origin of that one because that one's just really weird.
Yeah, that's true. All
Okay,
right.
your turn.
I've got a short one for you.
Okay,
Wear a cat. Like
like
wear
WH
as
or
in
like
WEAR. Like wear.
wear a cat.
Yep. Meow.
So there's like a slang. There's like an idiom that's just wear a cat.
Yep.
What the heck? Ah, I cannot even begin to guess what wear a cat means.
Can you guess
Um,
whereabouts in the world it might be used?
Africa, poachers. They like to poach big cats, skin them, and wear them like in the Hercules cartoon where he's wearing scars fur.
If I tell you a country, would that help you?
No,
Okay.
no, no hints. No
Okay.
hints. Okay, wear a cat.
Yep.
I really don't even think a country would help me. So, Egypt, they like cats.
You're just
It's
Picking, throwing
am
darts.
I warmer or further away from an African hide of a lion?
You're probably equally as far away as possible.
Wear a cat.
Yeah.
Uh I don't know. That's as
Okay.
close as I could get. Maybe somebody who likes cat fur for like a jacket instead of
So
like a
so
mink
this is
coat.
this is translated from Japanese,
That doesn't help.
and the meaning of it is you're hiding your claws and pretending to be nice. So wear a cat, as in like you're like giving off a
What?
yeah. The definition of is you're hiding your claws and pretending to be nice. So like
But like
like
that sounds
are
like it would be the opposite meaning. If you're wearing a cat is known for being catty, so you would think
right.
it means you're bringing out your claws, not hiding them.
Well, you could say
That's
like
weird.
that person is wearing a cat, as in like they're pretending to be nice, but they're kind of like cat like. Yeah.
Oh, that is
I don't
so weird. I wonder if that's
I didn't
British.
write it.
I
What?
feel like that must be like a British. Didn't you say
I,
it's from a certain
Jap-
origin?
Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah.
Japanese. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I thought it was
totally
interesting,
never
so I
would
was
have got
like,
that one.
we're gonna go with that one
Okay.
because it's kind of
All
fun.
right. So whenever HB comes out, she's wearing a cap.
Wearing a cat.
Okay. Donkey's years.
Donkeys
The
what?
phrase is donkey's
Years?
years. Like months, years. Donkey's years.
Okay. Um.
What do you think it means?
Okay, so I think of donkey as in like a hard labor animal, and a year is a duration of time. So I'm thinking of like maybe time is passing very slowly or like a very long period of time, because a year for a donkey might be very, very long because they're used, I guess, kind of for agricultural purposes. So they're actually working, as opposed to other animals like a dog that's maybe sitting around all day, or a cat. Is it the opposite of that?
No, it's hilarious because your answer is actually correct. It does mean
Yeah.
a very long time. So kudos
Yeah.
there. The hilarious thing is your explanation was way off.
Really? Why?
So it's
I
like,
thought it was.
yeah, so it's like somehow you still got there even though your explanation was totally off. So the example that they use is I haven't read that book in donkey's years. I'm going to use that. This is fun. It basically means in like a really long time. It
Oh.
says the phrase originated from donkey's ears, from the rhyming slang donkey's ears/years, often shortened to donkeys. It says donkeys are believed to live a long time, plus their ears are quite long. So it's not anything to do with the
Oh.
labor aspect. It's just because they live long, apparently.
Oh, I was thinking of like the nature. I guess maybe that is. um,
I
That's
don't
weird.
know
I would
enough
thought.
about donkeys to really know.
Well, I always think about like them as like working like in the fields and like very like labor intensive like
Hey, you still
tasks.
got it right. That's all that matters.
Okay.
So kudos to you. All right, your turn.
All right.
One of
All
these
right.
days we'll figure out how to do like points and dings and sound effects, but I don't know how to do it yet.
All right. So yours is going to be the demon of midday.
All I think about is PMS. No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
The demon of midday.
yeah.
Vampires? That's really weird for whoever just tuned in and heard me say that out of context. So I
Would you
apologize
like?
to
Would you
whoever tuned in.
Would you like the country
Try
of
it.
origin?
Okay, give me the country of origin for 100, please.
France.
France. And what was
It's
the saying
translated
again?
from the demon of midday.
That does not remotely help. I mean, I think about Quasimodo, but it can't be that. The demon of midday. Okay, what is in the middle of the day? The sun is in the middle of the day, but I
It,
don't see why they would associate the sun with a demon. Maybe
it
the
kind
heat
of.
of the sun. Maybe it's scorching hot in the middle of the day because the sun is at its highest, and therefore it is the demon of the day.
Final answer.
Yeah, even though your face is saying I'm wrong.
Okay. A midlife crisis.
What?
So
How is that?
midday being like the middle of your life, the demon, I guess, is you going crazy in a midlife crisis. So the demon of midday, meaning a midlife crisis.
I would have never gotten
I'm
that
not.
the
I'm
demon
now.
of midday
Keep
is
in
a
mind,
midlife crisis. Oh,
this is
yeah, I
my
know.
logic behind it. The answer is a midlife crisis. This is my logic of if you think of a day, that's all mine. So I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that's how
Oh,
I
okay, I got
perceive
it. But
the
yeah,
meaning
no,
of.
that's still I would have never got that in a million years.
Yeah, no, I
Okay, I
definitely
got
thought
one
it
for
was
you.
okay.
I don't think you're gonna get this one either, but it'll be funny.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh. Okay.
All mouth and no trousers. All mouth and no trousers. What does it mean?
All mouth. Is it appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, mm, it can be used in an inappropriate context. Yes.
Okay. All mouth and no trousers.
But it's
Maybe.
not exclusively
Okay.
used in an inappropriate context. It
So
can
I'm
be
gonna.
innocently used as well.
So I feel like I'm gonna go with kind of the um used to express someone who probably like talks a lot but doesn't have a lot to like back it up. So like kind of the idea of like wearing like the pants in the relationship. So maybe like if you're all mouth, you're like you talk a lot, but trousers meaning you don't have anything to back it up. You're just kind of like I don't know, like I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
all
you're basically saying the
bark and no
equivalent
bite.
to all bark, no bite. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It says
really.
used to describe a person, usually a male, who is boastful but can't back himself up or make idle threats. It says it is often used in a relationship
Well,
context
that's what
for
I was
obvious
wondering.
reasons.
That's what I was wondering. I
But
was
it's
like,
not always, but it says it does
okay.
get used that way. So an example that they give is if you don't make your bed, I'll kill you. And then the kid says, "Oh, mom, you're all mouth and no trousers." That's a quite aggressive mom in that example. If you don't
Yeah,
make your bed, I'll kill you.
it also sounds very, very weird because I'm not sure I would ever use that, but
I
okay.
think it's probably British. Okay, let's see. No conclusions reached as to the origin, so they don't know why.
Huh.
Okay, next.
Okay.
I think so
Okay.
far you're winning.
Well, I found this one that
You've gotten almost all of them.
I think I missed like 2 or 3 or so.
I've gotten like one.
Well, let me see. Let's go with this one.
Okay.
To have Van Gogh's ear for music.
Okay, that one to me seems like it means you're terrible at music because Van Gogh, the whole joke is that he cut off his ear. So his ear is missing, which means you must suck at hearing music or like
Yeah.
being musically inclined. That's
Yep.
hilarious. That one's straightforward to me because it's like clearly it's absent.
So that's
I'm going to start using that one.
that's an English one.
Yeah, I figured using Van Gogh, I didn't think Americans would use that.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's one that you've definitely heard, but
Okay.
let's see if you can get the origin. I'm sure you'll get the
Okay.
definition. Pardon my French.
So I've used it and I hear people use it all the time, but
But you don't know what it
so
means?
well, I feel like it is kind of like I'm going to say something that is not to your it's maybe like what I'm going to say is not civilized or sophisticated. It's like the brunt of truth. Um
Oh, I don't think you're using it properly.
no.
No.
Well, cuz I usually say man, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Like
Have you been using it wrong this whole time?
probably
Okay, so pardon
okay.
my French
Okay.
is an excuse used for a swear word, basically. Like, in order to use and excuse the swear word, you basically start off with pardon my French and then you say it. Basically, they use it that way, or they might use it in comic effect. So if like they're saying something really filthy, they might be like, pardon my French, and then say the really inappropriate thing. But
I
like
guess it
you
doesn't.
said inappropriate, but like not that level inappropriate, like really inappropriate.
Well, that's what I was gonna say because I was gonna say like if I say like, oh, pardon my French, this person is a blah 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 blah. Like I think of it. I mean,
That's not really what that means.
like if you're gonna like, I don't know, use it. Yeah, I guess.
I
Okay,
guess
I get it.
I
I
mean,
get like the
it
mindset of
is
it,
it
but
is okay, actually, so yes, if you were going to say this person is a, if you used a
right.
bad word to describe that person,
You have to
then
use
you
a
would be
bad.
correct.
So you basically have to use an insult for it to basically like
Yes.
work. Oh, okay, I
Yes.
didn't know
Because
that.
that's the
Okay.
whole point of like the French. That's what you're censoring, basically. That's what
Okay.
French means. French is basically like the curse word or yeah. So,
Okay.
what do you think the origin is for that? Pardon my French. What do you think?
Um,
Where did it
gosh,
originate from?
France.
I
um,
mean, that's a good guess.
I, I really, I could, yeah, I have no idea. It would just be a stab in the dark. Maybe,
Look at you using an idiom.
and it's probably a wrong one.
No, that's right.
Maybe it was like the British who were at war with the French, so they wanted to insult the French. So they say, pardon my French, and then they use a swear word because they want to insult the French. I really
Okay, so
don't know. I'm just throwing darts here.
sources suggest the phrase originated around the 19th century as a literal excuse for using a French phrase in a conversation with somebody who didn't speak the language. So they were just being polite originally, and then after that,
Oh,
they're using it as the polar opposite. Now it's like you're using it to not be polite. Isn't that weird?
yeah.
That it like originated with the opposite?
Yeah.
All right, your
All
turn.
right. So this one you might get. So it's to emit smoke from 7 orifices.
I mean, that just seems like an exaggerated version of your blowing smoke, the other thing.
Okay.
Wait. So somebody who's like blowing smoke kind of means like nonsense kind of. Oh, how do I phrase that?
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
To emit smoke from 7 orifices.
Well, the use of 7 makes it sound a bit negative.
Okay.
So, cuz that's a symbolic number. So, I don't know. It's something bad. It's a negative connotation.
Okay.
And whoever says this about the person clearly doesn't like the person.
The Chinese in
I'm
this
getting
case.
that. What?
The Chinese in this case, because it originates from China.
Okay. So the Chinese don't like this person. That's me taking it super literal.
Okay.
I feel like it just means like when somebody say like, "Oh, you're blowing hot air," like kind of the same concept. I'm gonna go with that because I don't know what else it could
Okay.
be.
So I think the key word here is to emit, like emit smoke. So it actually means to be very angry. And that's what,
Oh, like when people say I'm fuming. Oh, that
right.
makes
So you're emitting.
sense.
So as far as like a kind of
So
like
you're like
greedy,
super, super. Well, okay, not close at all. I was that close. I knew it was negative. Okay. This one I'm sure you've heard because I've heard it, but I don't know what it means either.
okay.
It's chew the fat.
Chew the fat.
Yeah. Do you know what that one means?
I've heard it, but like,
You've heard it, right? I've heard it too, but I don't know what it means.
um,
It sounds gross though. Ugh. Chewing the fat.
well, when you
I
chew
mean,
fat,
I trim my
it's,
fat. I don't eat it.
you don't chew the fat.
No, you know I hate the fat. I always trim it off.
Gosh.
You're stuck?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe it's like chew the fat.
I've heard of chew the cud, but I don't know if that's the same thing.
Well, I think cut is like with deer or like animals because they like will. I mean, it might have the same.
I
Um,
don't know. I don't know what that one means either.
maybe it's to like continuously like work at something because like obviously like chewing fat is kind of like chewing gum. Like it's very very difficult to actually break it down. So it's like maybe you keep like working at something or you keep like spinning your wheels on something, and maybe that's my answer. No?
Okay, it says the definition is to gossip or make friendly small talk. And it says
Uh,
that an example is I could sit and chew the fat with you for hours. It says the phrase, oh wait, no, I'm not going to tell you. What do you think is the origin of it?
maybe I feel like bacon has to be involved. I don't know why I'm thinking of bacon.
You know what? Let me see. Uh one of them is kind of related in the family of bacon. So, one of the origins is kind of related.
So something pork related?
Yes, the word pork is involved.
Oh, like pork rinds or something?
It doesn't specify what kind of pork, but the
Maybe
word
it's
pork
like
is indeed involved in the saying chew the fat. So, what do you
maybe it's just
think?
like people sitting around a bar table chewing pork rinds and just chit-chatting about the day and all the gossip in it. I don't know.
Oh, you're hilarious, but it's close. It says the phrase began to be used to refer to light gossip in the early 20th century. It says
Hmm.
one theory suggests that the phrase comes from the convention of chatting while chewing on leftover fat after a meal. Another refers to sailors chewing salted beef or pork on deck while they complain about life.
Oh, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have gotten there. That would have been a
I mean,
bit of a
you got like
stretch.
the key, you got like the key components.
All right, let's see what's a good one for you.
They're all good for me because I can rarely guess these accurately.
Okay. Walk around in hot porridge.
What?
Walk
Walk around
around
in
hot porridge.
hot porridge? Walk
Yeah.
around in hot porridge? What kind of saying is that? That is a weird idiom. Walk around in hot porridge. That's okay. First of all, it's awfully specific that the porridge is hot. I don't know why you're walking in it to begin with, but also the fact that it has to be hot, not lukewarm, not cold, hot. So we're like a Goldilocks situation here, and we're talking about Papa Bear.
That's true.
So, so I'm
So
thinking of
any
a
idea?
bear
Okay.
walking in porridge that is hot.
Right.
um, maybe maybe it's like hot water or boiling water when they say like, "Oh, you're in hot water, like you're in trouble." Maybe is it like you're in trouble?
Um, it could have, if you kind of extended, it could be a possibility, but like that's
Walk
it
around
would
in
be like
hot
leading up to it.
porridge.
Right.
Maybe it means like not quite like walking on eggshells because eggshells is more like the other person is the one that's easily going to be set off. Maybe it's like your version of that for yourself. Like you are the one with the short fuse. So you're walking around with a short fuse.
Okay.
Final answer.
Okay. Actually, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty close. So the actual
Ah,
meaning is to beat around the bush.
that's not
So
close.
to walk on
That's not close
eggshells?
at all.
Yeah, to walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
That's close because you're
No,
like
that's not
worried,
that's not close.
right?
Beating around the bush. Those are two totally different
I
things.
thought they
Beating
what?
No, beating around the bush is like when you're avoiding talking about the central topic, but you're talking
Right.
around it, so you're like dancing around it.
Right. Walking
Walking
on
on
eggshells.
eggshells,
Isn't that the same
walking
thing?
on eggshells is like no, walking on eggshells is like when you're trying to be kind of like careful around a person because like you might set them off or like you
But
might
don't they kind
make
of
them
like do that? Like they connect?
not quite because beating around the bush
Oh.
is just about a topic. Like it
Oh.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a negative reaction from the other person. It might be that you're
Uh,
just like shy, like if you want to ask someone out, but you can't ask them out straightforward, so you are like beating around the bush about the question.
see,
Matthew.
well, I thought you were in the clear. I was like, oh, she figured it out. I'm kind of
No, I
surprised,
didn't
but
get that. You gave me false hope. I
I'm
almost
sorry.
got
I thought
one.
you had it. I thought you
No,
had it.
I didn't have
Well,
it.
that one
Okay, I'm
comes
going to give
from
you one.
the check.
Okay.
So
The
if you,
check?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to
So
give you one that I don't know if you'll know what it means. Okay. This one
probably
is
not.
to go pear-shaped, like the fruit. To go pear-shaped. What does it mean to go pear-shaped? Think of the shape of a pear. See it? Right here? Look, I'm illustrating for you. The
Are
pear.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
To go
basically my body
pear-shaped.
shape.
Go pear-shaped. To go pear-shaped?
Yes,
Like
to go pear shaped. What does it mean?
hmm. Um, maybe because pears have a low center of gravity at the bottom, it means
Uh,
do the opposite. So
okay,
like
well, but like, what does that mean in a situation? Like, what do you think that
so
means?
if I'm saying, Leah, we need you to
We need you to go pear shaped. Is that what you're gonna say?
Leah, the kids need help.
I
Go
said I'm already
pear-shaped.
pear shaped.
I don't know. I feel like it means like you
Use it in a sentence. I'd like to hear how you use it in a sentence.
I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws.
I
There you
know
go.
that's why I want to hear it in a sentence. Use pear shaped in a sentence for me.
Johnny tried to pass his spelling test by going pear shaped and playing video games. I don't know. Doing the opposite of studying. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, let me give you an example and see if you can get it, okay? Matthew wanted to ask Leah out, but the situation turned pear-shaped.
So Matthew wanted to ask Leah out.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe it's like reverse. So like I wanted to ask you out, but you already were asking me out. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
We're
know.
just going to move on. Clearly you
Yeah.
don't know me because I would never ask you out, so I wouldn't use that
I
as an
don't know.
example.
What
You
does
know
it
I
mean?
believe in. Okay. It says describing something that has gone wrong.
Well, the
So when something
opposite
goes
then.
pear-shaped, it means it went wrong. No, it's not that it went opposite. It went wrong specifically. So it says, good thing you left when you did. It all went a bit pear-shaped after Andy started handing out Jaeger bombs.
Okay. That's so weird. Okay.
Okay, origin. What do you think?
Maybe it's like people wanted to eat an apple, but then they found out that they packed pears and they're like, "Oh no, it's not a circle. It's pear-shaped. This is wrong."
So pears are
That's
inherently
wrong
not as
fruit.
cool as apples. Yeah, like they're just
In
like
this yes.
no, that's not the origin. That's not, unfortunately, that is not the origin of the story. It
Okay.
actually is, well, it says there's a few different clashing explanations for the origin of going pear shaped. One of them says dates back to raft pilots in the 1940s who would get frustrated if their attempt to form a perfect aerial route went pear shaped, meaning when they try to do the shape, it makes a pear instead of a perfect, like, oval type thing.
Hmm.
So instead of being perfectly circular, it looks like a pear. So it went pear shaped. It says another theory relates to observational balloons during World War I, which occasionally refused to inflate and would go pear shaped. So when
Okay,
they
that
didn't
makes sense. It would
inflate,
be upside down.
yeah, properly, yeah. So
Yeah.
if they didn't inflate the right way, they ended up looking like pears.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
All right, your turn.
All right. To slide in on a shrimp sandwich.
What?
To
What?
slide in
Man,
on
speaking
a
of
shrimp
airplanes, can you hear that? It's so
sandwich.
loud.
There we go.
Slide in on a slide in
Sandwich.
on a shrimp sandwich. Okay,
Yep.
slide in. What the heck is a shrimp sandwich? People eat shrimps on sandwiches? That's
Like
gross.
a shrimp sandwich.
Yeah, like you've heard of a shrimp sandwich, like casually, you're just gonna get a shrimp sandwich. I've never heard of that. Uh, I don't think I can remotely guess what this one is. Slide in on a shrimp sandwich. I'm gonna just guess that that means when somebody kind of sneaks their way into a situation they weren't supposed to be a part of and like were able to somehow sneak in.
Okay, final answer.
Final answer. Yeah.
All right. This is translated from Swedish. and it is when
Of
someone
course.
hasn't had to work to get where they are. So,
Hasn't had to work. Hey, I'm
yeah,
not too far off
yeah, yours is
because
pretty
it's
close.
yeah, that's actually not too far off. That's a weird saying though. Okay, I've
It
got
is.
another one that's kind of weird. Okay, this one is damp squib.
What the heck's a squib?
I don't know.
A damp squib
Yeah,
or squid?
SQUIB. I mean, it's SQUIB.
I don't even know what that means.
Because it says,
Squib.
contrary to popular belief, the phrase is not actually damp squid. So it is
Oh,
damp squib.
I don't even know what the heck a squib is. Um, maybe it's like the phrase like a wet blanket, like someone who like is a party killer or like they like a party pooper, like someone who I don't know, isn't in with the group and they kind of like destroy everything because they I don't know, aren't part of the group. That's my final answer.
Final
I don't know
answer?
I
Okay.
don't know what a squib is.
You're not
Does it tell you?
too far off. You're not
Does it
too
say
far
what
off.
a
So,
squib is?
yes. So it says
Okay.
something that fails to meet expectations, an anti-climax. So it says, an example is, I was so excited about the series finale, but it turned out to be a damp squib. So like a letdown.
Okay.
So it says, damp squids. It says this one comes from the name of a dud 19th century explosive mining device. A damp squib was a
Oh.
squib that failed to perform because it got wet.
Oh, okay, okay. So, okay, because I was thinking of like when you're shooting, if the round doesn't fully go through, that okay. Okay, so I guess that kind of makes sense, maybe.
Yeah. So squib is
Okay.
military thing,
Because okay,
weapons.
because I guess it would be like a misfire.
You've never heard
Okay.
of a squib? Is that a thing
Well,
anymore? Maybe it is.
well, well, no, no, because now I was thinking of like if you, it's like a if you're shooting a gun and the bullet doesn't clear and it's like
Yeah, I
jammed.
thought that's what that was
Yeah,
called. Well, when
I
I was
forgot to.
listening, I was like reading it and I was like, wasn't that the thing that was called? But I
I
figured if it
forgot. I
was, you would
forgot.
have called it.
No, I totally forgot that that's what that was called.
That's the one
Okay.
that blows your finger off, right?
If you shoot
The one
another
that's like
round, yeah.
super, you got to be super cautious about.
Yeah, because it jams
Yeah.
the whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is your turn now. So,
Okay, I'll give you a short one because the other one was a very lengthy one. Okay.
okay.
Always remember, well, this is just me saying that. Dumplings over flowers.
Like flowers like the plant or flowers like the product you bake with?
Flowers like the plant. So the whole phrase is
Dumplings.
dumplings over flowers.
Oh, I think I know this one
Okay,
because
let's
it
go.
makes sense to me.
Okay, let's see.
Well, I might be way off. So to me, it's like if somebody is going through like a tragic event or something like that, like instead of giving them flowers while they're grieving or whatever, give them food, like comfort food. Please tell me that's
Okay,
what it is. Like providing
I
them
guess
with like meals instead of flowers and gifts.
you can probably use it. I mean, I'll give you the context of what it is, but you can probably use it for that. So
No,
the
I got it wrong. There's
I mean,
no way.
I think you pretty much got it right. It's
Okay.
choose something useful over something pretty. So if you're like taking care of
Oh,
someone,
see? Ah, I
giving
took
them
it literal. My literal brain.
right. It comes from Japan, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah, because it's dumplings. Yeah.
right. But I
Oh,
think you
see,
pretty
this is
much
so.
got it
This
though.
is. I got it, but I only see. That's the thing. Like with being autistic and interpreting things literally, I only get the ones that can mean kind of what they literally mean. Like the thing that they are can be used as a metaphor for the meaning. So like the
Okay,
connection is there. But like
that
when you
makes
say
sense.
things like raining cats and dogs, that's not really a metaphor for any connection. But this one is a metaphor, so I was able to get that one. All right, I'm going to give you one and disclaimer, no, it's not what
Okay.
you first think it is, okay?
Or is
Disclaimer,
it? You're doing the
no it's
thing where you
not
do the
and
thing
it's
and then you
not
twist it
inappropriate.
around and then it's
I'm
actually
just
the
going to
thing.
tell you, I'm just going to okay, before I say this one, it's not inappropriate, so get your mind out of the gutter, okay?
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
it's not inappropriate. Okay, what
Okay.
does this one mean? Give someone stick. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what it means.
Okay.
What does it mean to give someone stick? Stick with an ST.
Okay, I can probably think of a couple different ones for this. Maybe it's
Hmm?
like, so I was thinking of like, if it's a newer phrase, it could be like stick shift of a car. So if you were in my mind, if you were to give someone stick, you'd be shifting gears, which means leaving them in the dust.
Oh
But
my
I'm not
gosh, the amount of connections that you're making
leave
here
me
to get to
alone.
your definition.
So
You're like, it must be this,
that's
which means this, which means
that's
this.
that's one theory, or the more basic concept.
Let's go a little more
Okay,
direct than that.
give someone stick might be like beat them with a stick. Like that's a more basic, um, I think, interpretation.
Okay,
Am
so
I
it is
close
your
on either?
final. Is it your final answer? You can only pick one. What is your final answer? Pick one.
Give someone stick.
Yeah, what does it mean to give someone stick?
But I don't know when it was. Like I like my first
You
one because I thought it was clever.
okay? Well, pick one. Which one do you want?
I'll go with the first one. It's probably going to be wrong, but I kind of like it.
Okay. Give someone stick means to
Leave someone behind.
criticize or nope, to criticize
Ah,
or mock someone.
really?
So the
Okay.
example is he's been getting stick for that sweater all day. So
Hmm.
like that means like yeah, he's been getting back like kind of backlash or whatever for it.
That's so weird
Okay.
though.
So
I like my
apparent
theory.
oh, you will like the origin story. Guess the origin
Okay.
story. Yeah. Oh, you will like the origin story.
I mean, I was guessing a car, but I guess that's not right.
Let's just go with the fact that one of the things that you said was actually correct.
To
But
beat
I don't
someone
know
with
if you'll remember everything you said.
like leaving someone in the dust, or to beat someone with a stick.
Yeah, pick one. But I will say one of those is correct.
Maybe leaving someone in the dust, like as far as like bad fashion, like their outdated clothes.
Final answer?
Sure.
Okay, the origin is it comes from the literal sense of beating someone or something with a
Oh
stick. So you were right.
no, but I guessed the other
But you
one.
guessed the wrong one. Yeah, but
Uh,
you were originally right at the very beginning.
uh,
All right. Okay,
that
your turn.
stinks.
Hey, you
Okay.
technically got it. You just ungot it after.
All right. Well, I guess yours is going to be pedaling in sauerkraut.
What? Why do you keep putting me in mushy things? You know I hate mushy things. First the oatmeal, now the sauerkraut. Or the porridge, whatever it was.
You
Okay,
had
pedaling.
dumplings. Pedaling.
I'm going to
What kind
really, really hope that it's not a racist thing. So I'm not even gonna. I just hope to God it's not a racist thing.
of?
Pedaling in sauerkraut?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What? Pedaling in sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never tasted sauerkraut. Is it actually sour?
Yeah, it's pretty
I mean,
gross.
I
I
know
don't
it's
like
not
it.
spelled sour, but okay, pedaling in sauerkraut. Man, what the heck could that mean? So, pedaling can mean two things. Pedaling can mean like pedaling a bicycle, but pedaling can also be like a peddler, like somebody who it's not quite like gambling, but like peddles things.
Right.
So, like kind of pushes products on people in kind of like a malintentious way. So, pedaling like sauerkraut. I'm going to go with that definition. I don't think it's going to be literal like bicycle pedaling. So I think it's like somebody who peddles things in an unethical way.
Okay, I think you're reading way too much into it. So this is
Oh
so the
no! Is
so
it
it is
literally like pedaling a bike in sauerkraut? Like,
so the meaning is to be getting nowhere. So like
oh my
if
God, it is
so like
literal.
if you were to like pedal
What?
sauerkraut, you wouldn't be getting far.
Oh my God, I thought it would never be literal because like none of these are literal. Like none of them. Wow. I never would have gotten that one.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
interesting one.
All
That
right, I
comes
got
from
one.
France. Okay.
Really? They must really
I
hate
thought
the
I thought it
Germans. Oh, I guess
I
they
thought it
do.
I thought it was gonna be from Germany too.
I mean, yeah. But maybe it's just like they don't get along with the Germans. Okay, so that one's a little bit weird. Okay, that's a little weird. Okay, how about this one? No, that's too easy.
because I've been doing
All
so
right,
great.
how about this one?
Okay.
Wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
Barge pole. Okay.
What does it mean?
So I don't know if a barge pole is a thing that they poke ice with, or I'm thinking of like the documentaries where they're like in, I don't know, Antarctica, and they're like poking the ice to try and get out of the way so the ship doesn't hit it or break it up. I don't know if that's a barge pole. Um, maybe
Is
it's
that your final
like,
answer?
well, I didn't say anything. Maybe it's like something is too difficult to attempt or something, like it's impossible. I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. Maybe it's like too risky to attempt or something.
I thought you would get this one because,
Really?
yeah, because I mean, I'll tell you after, but I'll tell you
I'm not
why.
even
I thought.
100% on what a barge pole is, actually. I'm
I
guessing that it's
think you're
a
over
stick.
fixating on the pole.
Okay.
But let
But
me
what,
know
what
if
was
you
the
need me
what
to
was the what
explain
was the
it.
whole thing? What was the whole thing again? I wouldn't touch
Wouldn't
that
touch
with
it with a
a
barge pole.
like stay away, like red flags, I guess, is like a more simplistic
Let me
answer.
know when you're ready because I can't give you
I'm good.
hints.
That's all I got. I don't know.
Okay, it's literally the same thing as the saying of like, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Right,
Like, you know that
but
saying, right?
like
So it's
like
like you
stay
would
away, like
never,
not worth it. But
no,
like the
like you
car,
would
I guess
never, like you would never
attempt it.
want to get caught near it. Yeah,
Okay.
like I wouldn't touch it with a barge. Like I would never want to be like around that, or it's the same
But
exact thing as wouldn't
right, I
touch it
was
with a
just
ten
thinking of
foot
like the
pole.
next, I guess, next step. Like, why wouldn't you
Yeah,
want
you
to?
added
But
too
okay,
many layers.
yeah, I guess that's true.
We don't assign intent. Remember, we always talk about that on
I
podcasts.
guess that's
Never
true.
assume intent. All right, your turn.
All right. Um, to live like a maggot in bacon.
Ugh, the imagery on that is disgusting, but like that must mean like heaven, like living like royalty and like, or living like the high life or something like that, because a maggot would love bacon.
Wow.
I
Well,
mean, I get the
kudos.
ones that are very literal. I don't get the ones that are like not literal.
Yep. So that one
Okay.
is to live luxuriously. So
Yeah.
kudos. You got it.
So hey, our goal in life is to live like a maggot in bacon.
Yep. And that is
That
from
sounds like a really
Germany.
southern thing. That sounds southern. I feel like that should be a new thing that we start down here in the South.
Okay. Southern Germany.
Okay. All right, ready?
That's sure.
Get someone's goat.
Get someone's goat.
Hmm.
Ooh. Um,
Or you could also say, gets my goat. To get someone's goat, or it gets my goat.
maybe to think that you're better than someone, like if you're feeling that you have the authority to command someone to get your goat, maybe you have
It's like a
seniority or
military tactic
well, no,
with
no, I mean
goats.
like if no, like an actual goat, like if you are like a I don't know, a rich person and you command like a servant, "Oh, fetch me my goat." Like
Just the one.
maybe it's like I would like my favorite goat today, please. The
You're
little
just
goat.
gonna sit there and stroke it.
Don't judge. Fetch me my goat. Maybe it's like to try and show um like that you're better than someone. I don't know. I'm
Final
getting killed
answer?
on these. Yeah, I'm getting
All
killed.
right. This one is when you get or steal. Oh wait, hold on. That's the original origin. It actually means to upset, irritate, or anger someone. For example, the way she corrects everything really gets my goat. Thank you very much, Miss Know It All. So it's like It's like grinds my gears, gets my goat,
So it's the
like
opposite of what
irritates you.
so it's like the opposite of what I
Yeah.
said then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guess the origin.
uh, Europe? I don't know.
Not the
South America?
location. No, no, not the
Oh,
location
oh, oh.
origin. Like the origin, like where did that meaning come from? Like why gets my goats?
Gets my goats.
Yeah.
I
To
don't like
get someone's goat or uh-huh.
maybe it's like the merchant demanding the farmer to get his goat. I don't
You're
know.
thinking Veggie Tales, aren't you?
I don't even know people who have goats, like just like farmer or like
So it
farmers.
says that this expression comes from horse racing, where goats were used to have a calming effect on thoroughbred horses. To calm down to calm down an easily upset horse, its owner would place a goat in its stall the night before the race. But some opponents would cheat by stealing the goat to agitate the horse and make it lose the race.
Oh,
So it's
that's
a
very
literal, they literally took their goat and that
that's a
therefore it
very
ticked them off. It
that's a very
agitated the horse.
elaborate that's a very, very elaborate thing,
Well,
but
it
okay.
means in this metaphorical sense, we are the horse, and them getting the goat means they're agitating us by removing our comfort.
Hmm.
So we can use
Uh,
that in autism because when you take away your little sensory, your calm toy or whatever it is, your special interest, then you're getting their goats.
I guess that's true.
All right, we'll each do one more, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay. Um, Maybe I'll go with we'll keep in the theme. As
Okay.
clear as clear as dumpling broth.
What? What is it with you dumplings? Okay,
Everyone loves dumplings.
first porridge, then sauerkraut. Now we're talking about broth. You know I hate mushy textures, and that is all you're giving me.
You're doing
so,
good.
so you're saying dumplings in a broth? That's the saying? That's the idiom?
As clear as dumpling broth.
Okay, well, I feel like that one's pretty straightforward. Dumpling broth is not clear. It is like a
Okay.
thick, murky gravy type of thing. So
Okay.
it's going to be the same as the saying as clear as mud, meaning it's not clear at all. Tell me that's
Wow.
right. Okay.
As clear
Cuz
as mud.
yeah, cuz if it's literal, I can get it. See? I get the literal ones, but the ones that are like weird, I don't get. Okay, this is going to be my last one for you. The
Okay.
tail wagging the dog.
Okay. I've heard this one before.
Really?
Yeah.
You've heard
Um,
this? The tail wagging the dog?
yeah.
I wonder if it's southern or like western. I don't know.
I think it's like so if you think of obviously like the dog and the tail, it's like it should be the dog wagging the tail, but since it's the other way, the tail wagging the dog, it's like the smaller thing controlling the bigger thing.
Sounds like our
So
relationship.
true story. Um,
Or our kids' relationship to us.
Also true story. So maybe the tail wagging the dog, maybe it's like the small things in life are like controlling the bigger things. So um
That's a very broad. Can you
like
narrow it down a little bit?
maybe like small small problems are bigger are are be, like bigger than they should be.
Final answer?
Small something small controlling something big. That's like my foundation of my thought.
I'm
Um,
going to give you let me give you the full original phrase and see if this helps you at all. So
okay,
that expression comes from this full phrase. A
okay.
dog is smarter than its tail, but if the tail were smarter, then the tail would wag the dog.
I feel like that's more confusing for me. Mine was pretty simple.
Do you need me to read it again?
Maybe.
Okay. A dog is smarter than its tail. But if the tail were smarter, then the tail would wag the dog. So what does the tail wagging the dog mean?
Mm. Gosh, I think that made it more confusing for me.
Really? I just added
Yeah.
more context. It made it more confusing.
No, I had like my logic of the dog, and now it's like the brain or the dog is smarter than the tail, and I'm like, I wasn't even thinking of that.
Oh, that's so funny.
Maybe it's like you're letting the small things in life make big decisions. I don't know. That's like my
Is that your final answer?
yeah, I feel like it's something maybe like that.
You're
Yeah.
not too far off. So it says the
Okay.
short version is diverting attention to a less important issue in order to get away with the bigger issue. And it says a situation, or it says also a situation where a smaller or less important group appears to control a larger or more important person or organization. I could think of quite a few
Uh,
examples of that. So it's kind
yeah.
of like in
Okay.
the autism
That makes
world, you would
sense.
kind of call that like the AA movement, basically.
Okay, that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, so it says an example. Ever since Adrian headed the new team, the management seems to be doing everything to please them. This is the case of the tail wagging the dog. So it's
Hmm.
like basically when somebody has way more power over somebody than they should because that person is actually more powerful than them. So you don't quite
Hmm.
understand how they have this like control over them.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. So I can't
Uh,
remember what I said, but I feel like that was kind
oh
of
my gosh. I know I
better.
said that was going to be the last one, but I got
You
to
wanna do
do this
another
one
one?
because it's adorable. What?
Okay, should I do one or you just wanna do one? Let me
No,
see.
we'll end on this one because I just think the phrase is adorable, so we'll use it. Okay,
Okay,
last one. Ready?
okay.
Turn turtle. It's so cute. Turn turtle. What does it mean to turn turtle?
Turn turtle. Well, turtles aren't known for turning. So there's that. Turn turtle. Um, ask for help. Like, I feel like because as a turtle, if you need to turn, it would take a very long time to do so, and you never see turtles really do a great job turning
I'm gonna give you
unless
one
someone
hint.
picks them up and
That's
turns
not the
them.
type of turn they're talking about. They're not saying a turn to the side.
Like a spin, like a turn turtle. Turn. Like it's your turn. You're confusing everything.
Okay,
Um,
you have like 30 seconds left.
like you're playing poker with the turtle and it's the turtle's turn. Like, what is the turn turtle?
Is
Turn
that your
turtle.
final answer? It's the poker. It's the turtle's turn in poker. Is that your final answer?
Well, because you said it's not the turning of like the turtle, right?
Yeah, that's not.
Um, what's another definition of turn? I
Washington
don't know.
spies?
So the turtle is one of the spies?
It's not a spy turtle. What?
Turtle turn. Maybe it's because turtles don't turn, they just go in their shell. So rather than trying to start again, you should just abandon ship.
You're thinking of the wrong type of turn,
I
but
don't know. What other
okay.
turn is there?
You give up?
Yeah.
Okay, because we just hit the hour mark, so I'll give you the answer and then we'll call it.
Okay.
Turn turtle means to flip over or to turn upside down. So when the
Uh,
turtle's on its back. So it says,
uh,
the streets are so slippery today that I was worried our car would turn turtle. So it's not like
uh,
turning sideways. It's when a turtle's flipped on its back and it's like stuck.
oh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
probably
why I
still
said
would
you're
have.
using the wrong turn.
Oh. I
Yeah.
like mine better. I like mine
But I
better.
just thought that was a hilarious thing. Turn turtle.
Oh.
All
So
right,
it's
well,
like for
we'll
like
wrap it up
falling
here.
down,
Flipped over.
flipped over. Got it.
Like it's the equivalent to saying if things are like heading south, like
Okay.
turn. You've heard that one, right? Like when things
Yeah.
are going bad. So it's the same thing
Yeah.
like, oh, things turn turtle. Like, yeah, it went bad basically.
Are we gonna use these in
Sort of
our
like
everyday
flipped,
life
but
now?
they did it like flipped upside down. Yes.
Okay.
They took it in the more literal sense of like the car turned turtle, like it flipped upside down.
Okay.
So
It
if
was
you
probably
fell
like
on
a
your back, I would say, Matthew turned
turn
turtle.
turtle. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks to everyone listening. We had some fun. Our respite night next one will be next month. It's usually on the last or fourth Friday, I think, of the month, replacing our regular podcast episodes. Again, make sure to check out the Be Beautiful t-shirts that we have. We'll put the link in the description here. It's also on all our social media at Autism Wish, and 100% of the proceeds there will go towards supporting Autism Wish. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
And try to
Bye.
use these idioms in your everyday life.
Yes, because they totally make
They're used
sense, and
so
everyone will
useful.
understand them.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Bye.